headed back to Charlotte. Man, I could have been on my way back, but I broke my mirror this morning. Went by Ryder. Damn, they don't have the part. They gotta order it, so it pushed me back probably like 30, 45 minutes. But you know, I'm not really tripping. I'm headed back. I'm still back. I'll still be back earlier than, you know, like early August, mid-August and all that. When I was getting back at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. I'll be back probably like 11. So, man, I ain't really tripping. But, you know, today I wanted to make a video that, you know, I feel like God kind of placed on my heart to make the other day, man. And it's something that I battled with, and I'm proud to say, you know, with God's help and with some practical tools, I was able to overcome. And that is porn addiction, man. You know, shit, I started watching porn. I remember I was a kid at elementary school, and I was on a computer, and like this pop-up came up, and I clicked on it. And you know, ever since then, from then until 2020, so I was 29. From elementary school to the time I was 29, you know, I was addicted to pornography. You know what I'm saying? Damn, you know, I had spells where, like, you know, I wouldn't watch it, you know, but overall, dog, I would always like come back to it. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of men, a lot of people deal with that. They struggle with it. You know, it's like taboo to kind of talk about it a little bit, because people view you as whatever they view you as. I don't want to throw no labels out there, but you know, I speak for myself. I feel like, you know, people would view me as gross or whatever the case may be. You feel me? Like, it's more acceptable to talk about drug addiction, alcoholism, gambling, things of that nature than it is to talk about porn. But being addicted to pornography is just as destructive. You know what I'm saying? It warps your perception of relations with the opposite sex. It warps your perception of yourself. It warps your perception of what sex really is. It warps your perception of relationships, not just relations, but relationships, and how you view women. You know, you objectify women a lot. You objectify yourself. It destroys relationships. You know what I'm saying? And I experienced all of those things, man. And so, man, it was even so bad at one point that I was paying for it on Pornhub. I was paying for porn, like taking hard-earned money out of my check, and like paying for porn, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like I said, it started in elementary school, man, and it just went crazy. You know what I'm saying? Went crazy throughout my entire childhood and teenage years. When I became an adult, and the thing about it is, I want to take a side note real quick. It's joked about. Men in porn is like, it's like an acceptable joke. Like masturbating or beating your meat, whatever it's called, it's an acceptable joke. It's like people deem it as a normal part of a boy's maturity, and it shouldn't be, because it's destructive. It changes your psyche, man. You know, when you start having sex with a woman, especially, you know, once you get married, man, if you get married and you haven't checked it, then you looking at porn as if that is your representation of what sex really is. But one of the good things, and I'm not a advocate of social media. I'm not really a fan of it. But one of the good things social media did is it gave platforms for people to speak their truth or whatever. And you have a lot of porn stars that come out and they're like, yo, we're actors. We're acting. You know, we're taking things, men, they come in and say, man, you know, I take these different things to stay hard during a scene, or like, you know, women come out and talk about how damaging it is to have sex with all these different men that are all these different sizes, and how their vaginas were ripped and their buttholes were ripped and all kind of stuff, and like how now that they don't want to do porn anymore, but men won't take them seriously because of the career path they chose, and how men now struggle with just being committed and how they view themselves and view relationships and different things. And so you gotta. It's not just this innocent little adolescent thing, man. It's a tool, I believe, that is a multi-million-dollar, if not billion-dollar market that is a destructive part of society. You know what I'm saying? And so I'll tell you a little bit more about my story, man. You know, it was very destructive for me, man. And to the point to where that's all I wanted to do was just, and especially when I was overweight, man. When I was overweight, all I wanted to do was eat, watch porn, and really that's the only two things I would do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the crazy thing is, I remember watching this kind of podcast or whatever, this interview, and the guy was talking about how he used to be addicted to porn. And it's like you search he was like, he called it the perfect porn cocktail. Like you spend hours just searching for the perfect video just to, like, whatever, you know, beat your meat, and it's over in like 5 minutes. But you spend like 30 minutes, an hour and a half searching a perfect video, man. And it's like, what's even worse is how you feel afterwards. I just used to feel like such a loser afterwards, man. I feel like such a freaking gross, disgusting loser, like, you know. And so, man, it got to the point in 2020 to where, like, 2020, like, my life was, that shit blew up, y'all. My life blew up because of me and my bad habits and not dealing with trauma and whatever, man. Numbing, bro, my life blew up. But that's a different story for a different day. But yeah, I learned about this thing called sexual transmutation. And so I want to break this down, because really I feel like I'm talking about porn addiction. You know, that's really like the main thing I've been addicted to, besides marijuana. Never really been much of a drinker, even though I would drink. But marijuana and pornography, I was very much addicted to. So I feel like this can be applied to any facet of addiction, no matter what it is, man. Even things like being addicted to failure, being addicted to chaos. When you think about it, right? And I've been addicted to chaos and all of that, man. It's energy, right? When you get horny, it's energy. It is nothing but energy that is being focused from the mind, from the body to the genital area, the penis, the vagina, the breast, whatever the case, wherever you get aroused there, man. That's where that energy is going. So I watched this video, and this guy was like, what he started doing was, when he was by himself, he was trying to keep himself accountable. So when he was by himself and he wanted to watch porn, and he learned that being horny or getting aroused is nothing but energy, he was like, okay, in this moment, what can I put all of this energy into that'll be productive? And so he started going to the gym. Every time he would get horny, he would go to the gym and he would work out. And so when he got to the gym and warmed up, he realized he was no longer horny, but like he just had a rush of energy, man, and he'd have like the best workout. So I started doing that. If I was home by myself, I started getting horny, I would go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? And I would work out. And in 2020, where I lived at, the gym was literally walking distance, like 2 minutes from my house. So I would get up, put my clothes on, walk to the gym. You know what I'm saying? And so when you look at any addiction, and so it's like that release, and then you feel like shit afterwards. If you give in to that urge, it's the release, and then you feel like crap afterwards, man. And so another thing I used to be addicted to is chaos, like things, and I'm still working on that. I don't create chaos anymore, but that urge to create chaos, it's still there. It's a survival mechanism. Like I feel like I can only survive and thrive and do well if I'm recovering from chaos or working through chaos. So I realized that, like, let's say I do something to push a loved one away, and I get that reaction. It's like a nut. It's like a release. It's like, oh, yes, they rejected me. But then afterwards, I feel like crap, because deep down, that's really, I really don't want rejection. I really don't want rejection. But due to childhood trauma and things I experienced, I was feeling like rejection is the only thing only place I thrive at, only place I do good at. Like, I only do well under pressure or when things are falling apart. Now, I've worked on that tremendously, you know, and I'm able to acknowledge and communicate, you know, with my wife, like, all right, yeah, I feel like starting some shit. I feel like starting an argument. I feel like pushing you away, but I'm communicating with you because that's not really what I want to do. That's just a habit, a defense mechanism. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared of things going well for me. I'm scared of things being normal for me, for us, and us thriving. And so to deal with that fear, I want to create chaos. But I'm communicating with you so I don't do that, holding myself accountable. And that's really all it is, man. When you feel the urge to watch pornography and you feel like you got to catch that nut, number one, I want you to think about, okay, what's going on right now? Am I anxious? Am I scared? Am I nervous? Have I been, and this is a big one, have I been keeping myself accountable and doing well, but I don't feel like I deserve to, so I want to ruin it? Have I been on like this streak of just keeping myself accountable, not watching porn, not masturbating, you know, the whole no-fap thing, but the good feeling I feel of being proud of myself, I feel like I don't deserve, so I want to ruin it. That's another thing. You know, that's another point. You deserve to feel good and be proud of yourself. You deserve to feel good about not masturbating. You know, there's nothing better than connecting with somebody you truly love and care for, man. You know, especially talking about married men or my men out there that are in committed relationships, my men out there that have fiancés, whatever the case may be. Man, listen, one thing I started realizing is that when I would feel that urge and resist it, when me and my wife would be intimate and have sex, bro, I would perform that much better. And I say perform, not like it's a performance, but I was able to really give my all because, number one, I felt good about myself. You're always able to be better in all areas of your life when you feel good about yourself. And number two, because I wasn't wasting my seed, your semen, your nut is energy. That's a life force, man, and it should be preserved. That's why when men ejaculate, we get tired, because it's our life force, and we got to take a little bit to recharge. It's your life force. So, but when you wasting your life force and when you put it inside of your wife, your fiance, your girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like putting it to good use. And me and my wife, as we started really learning and researching about the real spirituality and what sex can do, you can manifest through sex. Like as a man, y'all can say, okay, these are our goals, right? These are our goals. Let's say y'all talk about it. Let's say I went out to breakfast and y'all talked about y'all goals that morning, right? Keep that in mind, and let's say the day is going on and you know you loving on your wife, she loving on you, y'all get home, man, y'all ready to go at it. While y'all are being intimate, while y'all having sex, you verbalize. You ask her, it's almost like you ask her, hey, you know, what do you want in life? And you know it's a passion. Y'all are making love to each other, and she's saying it, and you say what you want in life, right? So y'all have put that into the atmosphere of that spiritual exchange between each other. So when you release inside of her, now you have planted that seed inside of her. You've planted that seed of intention. You've planted that seed of manifestation inside of her. That's why God made it clear that sex should be between a husband and a wife, because it's a powerful thing. It should not be wasted. You know, a husband and a wife that are in tune with each other and in love and treating each other with honor and respect, y'all can manifest things, man. There's things that my wife and I manifested during sex that have came to fruition. Things that we manifested during sex this year that have come to fruition. Like our lives have done a complete 180 in a year. It's a complete 180. And I know I'm not all, you know, I was about to say I'm all over the place. I'm not all over the place. All of this, I'm giving you reasoning. It's one thing to tell somebody, hey man, you shouldn't masturbate. You should save that release. And I'm speaking, I'm not single, so I can't speak to being celibate and none of that. I'm not single. I love making love to my wife, you know what I'm saying? So I can't speak to that, you know? But I can speak to my people that are in relationships. You got girlfriends, fiancés, whatever, you know. Save that energy. Plant that seed inside of her. When you plant that seed inside of your partner, now I'm gonna say wife because I'm married. When you plant that seed inside of your wife, she's now carrying that seed in her womb. So now it's something spiritual about your wife's womb that now y'all talked about it, y'all put it into seed form, you release it inside of her womb, and just like a baby, both of you nurture that baby when your wife is pregnant. So now you've planted that seed inside of her womb, and you're nurturing that baby. You're nurturing that dream, that goal, that vision that y'all have for yourselves and for your family. You nurture it, and then you give birth to it. You know, when you are in the delivery room, your wife is the one pushing. She's doing the hard work, but you are there for support. Whether that be physical support, she's squeezing the shit out of your hand, or you gotta lift her leg up, or spiritual support, you're praying for her while she's in labor. Mental and emotional support, you're encouraging her, telling her, listen, I believe in you, I empathize with how you feel, but I knew you could do it, I knew you could push this baby out. So both of you are assisting in the birthing process, and it's the same with your goals and the type of life that you want. So fellas, save that seed, save that nut. When you got the people in the career field that are telling you, yo, this ain't real life. Yo, we take supplements and we take injections to stay wet, to stay hard, you know, we gotta shoot scenes like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Like, this ain't like no passion, this is a job. Like, this is, you know what I'm saying? You gotta take heed to that and understand what you watching is not reality, you know? And so so I'm proud to say y'all have not watched pornography since 2020, dog. It's been 2 years since I watched any form of pornography. And another thing you could do as a couple, you know, ask your wife to make videos, record y'all having sex. It's different when you masturbate, right? When you're looking at pornography, you're lusting over these people in these videos. But if you watching a video of your wife, video of y'all having sex, ain't nothing wrong with lusting over your partner. That's your partner. You should lust and want and desire your partner. So in the early stages, when you're still having them urges, communicate that with your wife and be like, or girlfriend, whoever, and be like, hey, you know, hey man, you know, send me some pictures, some videos. You know what I'm saying? Like yada yada. Communicate with them what you're trying to do. Man, listen, one thing, my wife was a real ass woman, dog, and I had to learn that. Like, I can be completely vulnerable with her and be like, hey babe, this is what I'm dealing with. This is how I want to attack it. Could you help me in this way, man? Listen, but my wife ain't never told me no when I communicated exactly what I was dealing with and what I was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So, man, yeah, man, listen, y'all, we can do this, man. I'm talking about, I'm somebody that was addicted to this shit. This shit was ruining my view of myself. It was ruining my relationship with God, because every time I would masturbate, I felt like I had to hide from God. Man, it was ruining my relationship with my wife, you know, because you gotta think, fellas, a lot of times, man, women will be cool with shit just for the sake of not wanting to bruise your ego or ruffle your feathers. But imagine how that feels. You watching this pornography, man, that may make your woman feel like she's not enough. Like, damn, I must not be enough, I must not be sexy enough, like yada yada yada, man. Well, really, it's us, bro. It's us, man. It's always us. You know, the modern woman that us as men despise so much is an evolutionary response to the hurt and pain that we have caused women, me included, decade after decade, year after year, century after century. When a species is continually hurt or in a vulnerable position, what do they do over time? They adapt. Either they adapt and almost become completely different, or they adapt to the predator. They become like the predator to survive the predator. Man, we've been hurting our women for way too long, bro. We gotta move the line back. What does that mean? That means if you know you're dealing with something, if you know you having problems with line back. Let's get out of the environments that feed that addiction, that feed that trauma response. Because that's all this is. It's unhealed trauma, and over the years we found ways to numb that trauma. So let's stop. If all your boys do the same shit, you gotta stop hanging with them. You gotta stop hanging with your boys. If all you do is watch damn movies with sex in it and all this different shit, you gotta stop watching that. If you go into the club, if you married and you still out hanging out and shit, bro, move the line back. Move the line back. You can't get better if you keep putting yourself in positions to compromise. Move the line back. The pastor of Life Church, man, I forgot his name, but that's probably one of the most impactful sermons I've ever watched. And I take that lesson with me. I teach my sons and my daughter that. Move the line back. Number 2, understand that you are not doing these things just because that's what men do. All men don't watch porn. All men don't cheat. That's the easy way out to say, oh, I do this because that's just what men do. That's not true, bro. That's not true. You do this because it is a trauma response. So number 2, you gotta get help, and you gotta get to the root of what that trauma is and start addressing that trauma. Alright? So those are just some practical tools. I know this video at 21 minutes, but man, I really just want to see my men do better. Love I really want to see us love ourselves, and I really want to see us not have to put our women through the ringer in order for us to get it. In order for us to have the aha moment, man. I'm guilty of that. And so I want especially my young men, like bro, start now. Start now, bro. Start addressing that trauma now. Go to therapy now. Get help now. Move the line now. While you single and got all the freedom to fuck who you want and hang out and do this and do that, bro, start moving the line back. Start having self-control. Because when you find that woman, you'll be in a position to where self-control, you've established that. You won't have to take her through shit in order for you to get there. You're already there. So, man, listen. I love y'all. Hey man, we gonna get through this together. If you find this content helpful, man, don't hesitate to like the video, subscribe, bro. It's free. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, Lord Jesus, I want to pray for everybody under the sound of my voice. I just ask that you cover everybody, watch over everybody. Just keep everybody safe. Help us to get to the root of our traumas. Help us to love ourselves as men, as black men. Help us to heal our trauma. Help us to be bold and seek the help that we truly need. Man, in your name I pray, amen. All right, y'all. Love y'all. And remember, hey, listen, Jesus loves y'all just the way you are, and so do I, all right? Peace.